Say, man, for those select few that are already initiated, you should already know what's coming next. And for those of you that aren't, just chill. You see, we're gonna get to that other shit in a minute. But first, we're gonna touch the right vibration. So what we're gonna do is just vibe. See, it's about that time, man, for you to just open up your ear and let me crawl into your mind one time. Cause you fucking with the right one. Damn, one of y'all must be bullshit. I'm allergic to that. So cut it. I know a lot of y'all must be thinking, is this even necessary? For me it is. It's essential. Get ready. Yes, sir. It's about that time, man. What it was, y'all. Y'all know who it is. And y'all tuned in with Priceless Knowledge itself. And this right here, this ain't shit but some cosmic insight, man. And say, man, sometimes, man, that rhythm just be in my motherfucking bones, man. It just come right out me, man. And I need it in my life, you know. And, you know, that's because this right here, this is a little something about those people that have Neptune in the third house of their natal chart. And in this case, you know why? Is because I have Neptune in the third house of my natal chart. Yes, sir. And so, before we actually get into that, man, whether you know my style or not, I'm finna put you on game. First of all, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give y'all a little information on Neptune and astrology. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit about the energy behind it and how it might affect you. Then after that, you know, I'm gonna give y'all a quick breakdown on what the third house of the astrological chart is actually all about. Then after that, we're going to bring it to a climax. That's what I do best. Before I say too much. Anyway, man, you know, let's go ahead and get it cracking, man. So, Neptune is named after the Roman god of the sea, man. Pardon me. And That's that fire. And, it's the ruler of the sign of Pisces and the 12th house of the astrological chart, along with Jupiter to a lesser degree, man. And, Neptune is really the higher octave of Venus, whether you know it or not. And that's because it's all about compassion and acceptance and unconditional love of all that is, man. Neptune, along with Uranus and Pluto, they're what I call transpersonal planets. And that means that they take us into realms that are beyond rational and logical understanding. And in this case, Neptune connects us with the divine. Yes, sir. And it's the planet of inspiration. It's the planet of dreams, illusions, and fantasies too, man. It intensifies our sensitivity and intuition, but it also, clouds our perception of whatever reality is. And, and it kind of, what else it does is it deepens our compassion, man. Real talk. And it also relates to photography, to film, to dance, to music, to painting and poetry too, man. And it also rules over drugs, both those that heal and those that can really alter our reality, whatever that is. Real talk, man. And it takes about 165 years to traverse the whole zodiac, so I highly doubt anybody see a motherfucking Neptune return. And it spends about 14 years in each sign. So this is another one that would be definitely considered a generational planet, man. And that means it'll come across similarly, or at least in some ways, as to all the people that were born in that 14-year period, man, that have it in that sign, man. In my case, I have it in Neptune in the 3rd house in Capricorn, which in a Placidus chart, I have Uranus and Sagittarius in the 3rd house. So, before y'all heard me say I had Uranus in the 3rd house, I don't have a conjunction. Okay, there's not a conjunction there. Crazy as it is, they're at opposite ends of the house, man. And so, and let me also say that, when we're talking about the house placement, that's where it gets more personal. And of course, that's what we're going to be talking about because, I like to get personal. We got to talk about what's going to affect each one of us and what can help us grow, man. And when we're talking about the house placement of Neptune, that could really show us what area of life that you could be idealistic or have artistic tendencies, as well as where you might be delusional or where you might want to escape. In some cases, man. And the aspects show us, what other areas of life might be affected by our dreams and where we might be divinely gifted, as well as where we might be not seeing things as clearly as we should be. So there's a whole bunch of ways to see that, man. And let me tell you, this one is vast, y'all. Vast as a deep blue sea, as cliche as that is, okay? And so when we're talking about the 3rd house of the astrological, the 3rd house of the astrological chart, Neptune and Uranus in that 3rd house, motherfucker though, huh? Anyway, man, the 3rd house is ruled by Mercury and it's ruled by Gemini. And it highly symbolizes our thinking and our communication style, man. Our writing, our short trips, our younger siblings, and pretty much, our early childhood environment. That's all the 3rd house realm, man. As well as, any powers of analysis and discrimination that we might possess, man. Planets in the 3rd are really going to indicate how you communicate and kind of how you operate mentally, to say the least, man, in some. And so when we talk about, having Neptune in the 3rd house, like myself, man, well, take it from me, man, when I tell you that when you have this placement, man, your soul yearns for connections and contacts and the dissemination of knowledge, man. Words are your motherfucking refuge, man. And because it really feels like language presents the possibility of redemption. And I mean that. And, one may find God in the simple act of, reading or writing with this placement. And I mean that too. And, let me tell you, the Apostle John, who wrote one of the Gospels in the Christian Bible, man, he must have had this placement because he's the one that wrote, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And I'm not aligned with any religion whatsoever, man. Any specific one anyway. But, as a person with Neptune in the 3rd house, let me tell you that I feel that for real. And that means something to me deeply. And, you know, having Neptune here makes you like an extremely intuitive thinker, man. And with good aspects, you know, you have such a motherfucking rich inner world and vivid imagination that, you know, you can simply dazzle motherfuckers with your words, you know, and the exquisitry of the way that you can talk, man, and the writings that you can do too, man. And, you know, with some of the more challenging aspects, what you could see is, you know, you could get lost in daydreams, man, and, you know, have a hard time being present and probably be, you know, quite deceitful to others at times, man. Let me tell you that I have both positive and challenging aspects, and I resonate with all of that. And I'm just going to keep it 1,000, man. The thing is, I love talking about my own personal placements. That's why, you know, some astrologers, they're going to go through their list of placements when they're working, and especially when they're doing it the way that we're doing it on this platform. And they're not going to say which placements are theirs necessarily. Not all of them anyway, because, you know, they like to keep things to themselves. And I'm a very private person. Believe me, I have Pluto in the first house. Okay. I'm extremely private, but at the same time, when I go to talking about these placements, it gives me something that, you know, I'm sure how I can relate to this. This is not something that I'm guessing and my intuition might be off with. Now, I've never had anybody ever tell me that I'm just off. There's some things that people, I don't resonate with that. And then they be like, well, I resonate with most of it except this. And that's cool. You know, everything ain't for everybody. And like I said, I had to tell somebody that I care for dearly. Hey, I'm not the be all end all at astrology at the end of the day. Okay. At the end of the day, this is my perspective, okay? And that's just how it is. But when we're talking about these placements that I have, like, I know how this hits, man. So I'm telling you to pay attention, man, because this gonna hit specifically. I know how it hits, man. Real talk, man. And, you know, it's just, you know, if you think about it, this is really an auspicious placement. And there's no other way that it could not be, because, and that's just if you allow it to be anyway. And anything is if you allow it to be. And just think about it like this. You're taking the planet of communication and thinking and, you know, and you're mixing it up with the house of communication and thinking, pardon me. And you're sitting there and placing the motherfucking planet of imagination and inspiration in that motherfucking house, man. When you put those two energies together, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely going to be interesting, just to say the least. Think about it. Think about it if you can, you know. And, you know, I'm going to tell you this, though. As with any of these outer planets, man, this one can be hard to get a motherfucking handle on, but it's also going to be extremely rewarding if you're able to get a handle on the motherfucker, man. And this one is going to be similar to having Pisces on the third house cusp, but much, much more intense, man. Let me tell you. Okay. And to dig even further, I can't even talk right, y'all. To dig in even further, man, you know, when you have Neptune in the third house, man, like, you fucking love daydreaming, man. I know I do. And, you know, if you could channel that, man, it's going to make you just one of the most extremely creative people. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's going to make you probably with potential in the highest manifestations to be, you know, divinely inspired enough to really tap into the Akashic records of, you know, endless creativity. Real talk. I mean, I'm not saying I can do that because I don't know if I'm not conscious of that. But like, when I'm doing my music thing, like, man, I'm tapping into something else, man. Like, I'm tapping into something else, and it's spiritually nourishing for me. That's why I don't really necessarily sell my music when I say, hey, that's not my path. A lot of people, they hear me do my beats on here, my instrumentals and these things I'm remixing, or these beats that I'm composing, and they hear me even rap on here. They're like, say, man, you got it, man. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm doing this. This is my path. You understand? That's what I do to heal when I'm by myself. And I like to show y'all a little bit because I like to show out, man. I got Venus in Leo, man. I got Mercury in Leo. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is, man. But my Pisces moon is in the 5th house. But at the same time, man, like, you know, when I'm tapping in with that music and anything artistic, man, like, it's something else, man. And, you know, either way, even if you don't make art, or music with this placement, man, then you probably have a very deep love and appreciation for it, to say the least, man. And if you do have something published, it'll probably be under a pseudonym or a pen name or something like that, man. And I have albums out when I was with a group, and I have a rap name when I rapped, that where there's still music videos and stuff that could be on YouTube and shit. When I had a little rap career and shit, and they're there, and it's just not the name that I talk to y'all with, and that's just kind of what it is, man. And that's cool too, man. But with Neptune being the higher octave of Venus, let me tell y'all some other stuff, man. This is definitely something to look into with this creativity, because 9 times out of 10, man, there is divine. I mean, absolutely with this one, divine, literary, musical, or, artistic, acting talent, just waiting to be employed with this one, man. And, when you have third house Neptune, man, this is one of the most artistic placements that there are, man. And particularly being gifted in the way of poetry and, songwriting too, because nobody can express their thoughts more eloquently. And, because let me tell you that Neptune also rules over, music and dance and acting. And I ain't gonna stop, man. Your mans can cut a rug. I don't dance because, I feel like, unless I'm by myself, which I do all morning, every morning before I'm here with y'all doing these videos, I'm dancing by myself in this motherfucker, just getting it in. I do a little movement when I'm on here, but like I'm dancing up. And I've been able to dance since I can remember. I've always had natural rhythm. My little sister fucking hated me for it because she still don't got no rhythm to this day. You know what I'm saying? Or weird hunchback twerking and shit. You know what I'm saying? Me, I just done always had it in that realm. And, as far as rhythm goes and as far as just music, like that's just always been a part of me, man. Like I said, my older brother used to put me on his knee and have me singing Jodeci when I was 4 or 5 years old and Babyface and shit like that, man. Like, that's also with that Pisces moon, like I said, in the 5th house. But man, there's Neptune in the 3rd house. That's kind of what that is too, man. I just understand music, man. And let me say that, some of us could be fucking absolute dynamos, in this area, man. And I'm not in myself, but I've seen other people, man. And, especially with the particular talent at fucking, impersonating other people. I've seen some actors that can do that, and I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can do voices too. You know what I'm saying? I'm good at impersonations, man, in both speech and movement, man. You know what I'm saying? And mannerisms. And I do my dad perfectly, man. I sit here and act like my dad all day long. And that's kind of funny too, because here we go talking about, having Neptune for me in Capricorn in the 3rd house, where the 3rd house is ruled by Gemini. You know what I'm saying? My dad is a Gemini sun with a Capricorn moon. You know what I'm saying? Here I am with Neptune and Capricorn in the 3rd house. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you, my daddy is black. My mama is white. My daddy, you know what I'm saying? My mama was cool as a fan and shit. She's a Pisces and all that, but my daddy has rhythm. You know what I'm saying? The way he walks, the way he moves, you know what I'm saying? He's a little jive, little smart mouth, shit talking ass little dude. You know what I'm saying? So that's where that comes from, and which is crazy to me how this plays out, because I see my genetics in my chart, man. And if I gave you a reading, I'm gonna see your genetics in your chart, man, and be able to tell you stuff about you and your kids and your family that'll be like, damn, bro, like I never even paid attention to that. Once you pay attention to it, you know what I'm saying? Self-awareness is everything. Everything. You know what I'm saying? But let me keep going, man. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'll say this also. Neptune usually makes you more on the impractical side though with this, and interested in more of the abstract things. And you're also more of a, right brain person than a left one, man. Kind of like, Kurt Cobain, man. And like, Stephen King, who both have displacement right here. You know what I'm saying? On another note, you know what I'm saying? Let me say that, displacement can make you absent-minded in a motherfucker too, man, and never be able to be on time anywhere. And I have a whole bunch of placements that help me not be on time nowhere, man. On top of that, cause you like move to a different rhythm, man. On top of that, you either have laser focus or, you know, you can't concentrate at all, man. And with third house Neptune, you know, you can definitely study better on your fucking own with music playing or something like that than in a group or in any classroom environment. And you kind of excel like that too. And more than anything else, man, when you have third house Neptune, let me tell you, man, your intuition leads your thought process. And a lot of the times, you know, you just know shit without knowing how and why you know the shit, man. And, you know, which is both amazing sometimes and confusing, man. You know what I'm saying? With third house Neptune, man, like, it's also about, you know, the third house anyway is about early childhood and your siblings. And with Neptune here, let me say that it suggests, you know, spiritual gifts, but, you know, feeling misunderstood in your immediate surroundings. It also, and I relate to that, which made me scared and made me feel weird, man. Like with this Pisces moon and this right here. Pardon me, y'all. Man, which one of y'all's on that bullshit? I told you I'm allergic to that. It's not my own bullshit. Okay. Anyway. You know what I'm saying? You know, what I could also say, man, is that, you know, this also suggests that there was probably illusions, you know, surrounding your family members, like, you know, having brothers and sisters that you didn't know about. I relate to that too with my daddy trifling ass. You know what I'm saying? My little sister, who I'm cool with her motherfucking family now. I love her to death, and we are just like this. This is my Sagittarius, this is my baby sister. Her mama, our next door neighbor. Cursed by them Geminis, man. Cursed by them Geminis, man. She's a Gemini too. No, my older sister that's younger than me is a Sagittarius. Pardon me, that's not who I'm talking about. So I got him confused a second. I don't know if I said that. My baby sister, that's a Gemini, with a Gemini sun with a Pisces moon. You know what I'm saying? My daddy, you know what I'm saying? He's a Gemini sun with a Capricorn moon. Her mama was our motherfucking next door neighbor. Crazy, man. And, you know, besides that, man, you know, you could probably have lies about your sibling, who your siblings' parents are with this, man, or who your parents may be. You know what I'm saying? And I could also, you know, suggest that there's some disillusion and lies going on in the relationship with your siblings, you know what I'm saying? Or childhood friends, or in some cases, you know, that y'all together just might, you know, really not be a lot of honest with each other. Or on the opposite, on the higher manifestation, this, y'all all have a very spiritual bond. This definitely, even if y'all aren't very honest with each other, this also suggests that you and your siblings have a spiritual connection, and probably, you know each other from the other side with this. I could say this. And not a lot of people would say that. Your siblings and, you know, a lot of your childhood friends who are probably your friends later on in life when you have this placement, y'all, whether y'all are close or not, you know where they're at and you're aware of their presence all times because y'all have a spiritual connection. Okay, man. And it can also suggest that, you know, maybe one of your siblings or might have strong Pisces placements. My little sister has a Pisces moon, man. Or, you know, very, you know, Neptune abilities, you know what I'm saying? Or even that, you know, you could have a sibling that's passed on and they're still communicating with you. In this case, man, from the spiritual realm. You know what I'm saying? This one could play out an infinite amount of ways, man. But just remember that, you know, and, you know, just think about whatever the brain can imagine. But either way, just because you built like that, you don't have to build like that, man. Okay? You don't have to feed into the negativity. You don't have to let anything disillusion you. You know, it don't matter where you have any planet place, because we all have all this energy available to us, man. It ain't about what you do. It's about how you do it. Okay? And that's some priceless knowledge in itself. And it's been some priceless knowledge of self, man. I appreciate all the love and support, man. You know, if you're interested in the astrological readings or any merch, man, you can either hit me up in the comments below, or you can email me at mr.turner1300 gmail.com, man. And say, man, y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Lastly, man, before I go out real quick, somebody hit me up in a comment, man, and asked me about my chains and what they mean. First of all, this says king, you know, not just because I feel like I'm a king, but because my name, Rodrigo, actually means famous ruler. You know what I'm saying? And this wasn't a name that, you know, was picked in the womb. My mama, after I came out, you know, a few hours later, picked my name out of a book. You know what I'm saying? And Rodrigo is what she picked. And if you go look it up, that's actually what it means. It's famous ruler. And, you know, a lot of my numerology, a lot of things in my life suggest that, man. And Rodrigo is actually, if you go look at the astrology behind names, there's a Libra name, right? I have 12th house Libra, okay? So that's interesting, okay? This right here, of course, Moonchild. You know, I'm a Cancer. And I just want to have, because of certain things that I loved when I was younger, I'm not finna have no crab on me. You understand? I just don't get down like that, cuz. Okay. And lastly, you know, and this one costs the most, man, like for real. This one right here, no matter how much this, because this one has some emeralds in it. And anyway, but this one right here, man, it's a tiger. I'm born year of the tiger, man. Which is Aquarius energy, whether people knew that or not. But yeah, I was born year of the tiger, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's a little news you can use, man. And this costs pretty premium. I don't give a fuck about this material shit, okay? I love everybody, man. Y'all keep it true. We'll be back in a few days, man. Keep it cracking. That's what I do. I love all y'all, man.